Welcome back, Comet Nation. Today we are joined here with Mrs. Stubbs. Mrs. Stubbs, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Mrs. Stubbs. I am an English teacher and I try to organize the chaos in the broadcast room.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Today we're joined here with 4 books that Mrs. Stubbs brought us, and you have read all of these books, correct?
I have read all of these books.
Now here's the twist. I have not read any of these books, and today I'm going to be guessing what these books are about, kind of guessing the plots, maybe the setting. And I've never read any of them before, never seen any of them before, and this is going to be our Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover segment. All right, Comets, well, this is our first book. This one is Firekeeper's Daughter. This is by Angeline Booley.
Yep, that's how I would say it. Yep.
Okay.
And
Okay, so this one, as you can see by the cover, it almost kind of looks like a deck of cards, like maybe like a queen or whatever, you know? Would you say kind of that's
it
accurate?
kind of looks like that, yeah.
Okay, so Firekeeper's Daughter, I'm thinking that maybe this is about maybe a father-daughter relationship. And I don't really know what a firekeeper is. And I'm not going to try to guess because I know it's going to be wrong if I say like he's a keeper of fire. That's definitely not right. But the most basic broad answer I can give is that this is a struggling relationship between a father and a daughter, and the father is trying to basically maybe bring her back into kind of the family and just restore the relationship.
Well, close-ish? No.
No? But you said close-ish at first.
So we have our protagonist. She's trying to find her identity. She is a young woman, and I believe it's Michigan, but in an area where there's a lot of hockey. Her father was indigenous, and her mother is not. So she's kind of like walking between these two worlds. Does she join the tribe? Does she not join the tribe? There's mystery, there's crime, there's undercover cops involved. And so this story really is about her trying to find her place. Her father is actually deceased in the book. And so she's trying to figure out her role as a member of that tribe.
Well, don't judge a book by its cover, I guess. But yeah, Michigan, I didn't expect that. I was kind of thinking maybe like some sort of ancient...
No, it's like a more modern, modern setting.
Not what I was picturing at all. All right, our next book is Grapes of Wrath. This is by John Steinbeck, obviously an author that I hope we all know. He wrote Of Mice and Men.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful book. I'm sure this one's great too. Based off the cover here, it kind of gives off vibes that maybe it's Dust Bowl, Great Depression era. And I guess maybe he's a grape farmer because it's called the Grapes of Wrath. So I'm thinking maybe the Dust Bowl comes through his home, kind of destroys his little grape farm. Maybe he's trying to make some wine and can't get his wine for the year. Because of the Dust Bowl financial issues, because of the Great Depression. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. And I'm not sure why the grapes are wrathful in this book, but I think I'm going to be able to hear a little bit more about this book from you.
Okay. You're close. You're close, and not just close-ish, actually close.
Really? Okay.
So we have the Joad family. They are farmers in Oklahoma. The Dust Bowl.
Are they grape farmers?
No.
Okay.
But this is the story of their migration to California and this hope that the world will be better there. But they're migrating with a large group of people, and so all the heartbreak and devastation that comes from that. So grapes actually do not play as big a role as you might think, considering the title.
Right.
But it is about that migration there and how the family deals with that.
And it is Great Depression Dust Bowl.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
And they are moving. So yeah, good job.
Sweet. All right, here's our next book. I need a little help with the pronunciation. Pronunciation. I need help with my pronunciation of that word as well. But this book is Circe. Now, this book kind of gives off the same vibes of the cover as like this one, because I was thinking like ancient something with this one, but I was way off here. But Circe, I'm going with like Egyptian type of mythology here. It's looking like a #1 New York Times bestseller, but it does seem like every single book is a #1 Times New York bestseller, and I don't understand that at all.
To be honest, I'm not sure either.
But yeah, Circe. So I'm thinking this is about kind of a woman in ancient Egypt who kind of stands up to maybe like the stigma against women, kind of tries to change the trajectory of how women are treated in this time period. And so she kind of plays a big role in maybe like women empowerment type of stuff and like equal rights between male and female. So that's kind of what I've got from this book.
You're yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. So mythology.
It's better than no and no.
Yeah, better than no and no. Mythology, yes. It's actually Greek mythology.
What did I say?
You said Egyptian.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, those are very, very
Okay. So Greek mythology, she is the daughter of a Titan and a nymph. And so she's immortal, but she's not an Olympian god.
Okay.
She actually becomes a witch. She's able to use certain plants to protect herself and her loved ones. She actually gets banished. So she's been a key figure in Greek mythology, but she just plays like a small role in several different stories. And so in this story, the author Miller kind of pieces together all those stories and makes one large tale about Circe. She does stand up for women.
Okay.
She asserts her power in a world that typically women do not. And so she's counter the culture in that way. So yes and no.
Okay, here's our next book. This one looks very interesting for the last pick. This is called The Female of the Species. This is by Mindy McGinnis. That's a very fun last name. But we have some different like varieties of species here. We got a fox-looking thing. It says cow, but that's an elephant. So I'm really confused.
Well, a female elephant is a cow and bull.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, I guess these are all the female versions of the species. And then there's just a woman here. Now this one I'm very confused by, but you know, this is another maybe it like describes kind of like the life of a female, and maybe that's why I'm so confused by this book because I'm a male. But yeah, that's kind of like the best I've got. It just kind of talks about maybe the struggles of being a woman or whatever else has to do with that.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Okay. So this book is set it's a modern setting. And a lot of the plot comes from Kipling's quote, which is on the back of the book. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. So we have a story about Alex who loses her sister. There's some like teenage drama that happens in the story, and then we've kind of got a twist at the end. So a more modern, like young adult.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking modern based off that cover. Definitely no mythology in this book.
No.
But. All right, Comets. Well, thank you for tuning in to this newest episode brought to you by Eli Boatman and Mrs. Stubbs. And remember, never judge a book by its cover.